Hi, Capricorn. So we survived January. You might be a little bruised, might be a little bit sore. You might have some extra boundaries up that you didn't realize you needed before January. Seven of Wands. You might be protecting yourself a little more than you'd like to, than you would care to. I learned a really big lesson for myself in January about softening the edges of that protective layer that I've always created. And earth signs, I feel like earth signs just genuinely do that, you know, because we give so much of ourselves and we're like the grounding force that everybody else sort of depends on. So we have to protect ourselves. And it can harden us in ways that we don't particularly we don't want to be hard, right? We're actually extremely soft. You know, when we're not watered enough, we can get really, really hard. But I also feel like the protection and the layers that you've created for yourself also offered up a few new people for your soul tribe. So we have the Three of Cups too. And we'll see a little bit further as we go more. For some of you, this could be that you're having to create boundaries because of a third party situation that you were a part of and that you're probably not so much a part of anymore. And because of you're not a part of it anymore, you've had to create boundaries. Now, and the reason why you created boundaries is because you want more for yourself. We have, actually, I want to do this. We have the Page of Cups and the Ten of Cups. You want that full abundance. You want that happiness. You want that Ten of Cups. You don't want to have to like beg for it, look for it. You know, I mean, yes, you'll work for it, but you don't want to have to like overextend yourself for it. And I don't think you will have to. You may be dealing with an air sign or somebody who has strong air in their chart. You could be this air sign. This could be you. And you're like finally realizing where you were not protecting yourself, where you were not being discerning, and now how to do that. It feels, this Queen of Swords feels very clear in the direction that she wants to go in. She's determined. She's ready. And unfortunately, sometimes we have to go through some really hard energy like January gave us to do that. So February will look completely different now that you had to see your own shortcomings and not beat the crap out of yourself for being human and having shortcomings, because everybody does. Right? Everybody does. Seven of Wands. See? The more you create healthy, loving boundaries for yourself, but staying open and vulnerable with the universe at the same time, that's when the gifts arrive. The Ace of Wands. And this is, you know, passionate new experiences. These are opportunities that don't come along every day. This is that thing that you've always wanted to do, but you never really had the energy, or you didn't feel like it was the time to do it. And now, because you're no longer holding yourself back from you're not letting your past hold you back anymore. You're not letting the people hold you back anymore. You're not letting your situation hold you back anymore. And now you're seeing all of the opportunities, whereas before you couldn't because you were closed off, right? See? Two of Swords and the Four of Cups. Here's the other thing. For those of you who are dealing with a third party situation, you have to understand that It's not just enough for you to be done with it. You have to heal from it too, especially if you were the third party, especially if you were the person that was probably most likely, both sides, like all sides, no sides win, but there's one side that sort of feels a little bit more rejected because they're not chosen. And if you were the one that is feeling a little bit rejected, you have to understand that it was for your best. This had to happen. And now it's time to have those boundaries so that you can have the real thing come into your life, right? The Two of Swords and the Four of Cups on the Three of Cups, for those of you that are not in a third-party situation. I want to say don't ignore what your friends are trying to tell you, because I feel like sometimes, and I do this, you guys, oh my gosh, do I do this? And it's not just because I'm a Virgo, it's because I'm an earth sign. Very dominant earth. I'm dominant earth and fire. So I think I know everything. And I know that I don't know everything. And I welcome advice when I ask for it, but I don't like unwelcome advice. So people think that I'm a know-it-all who doesn't like advice, right? Don't be me. Don't be Betsy. Don't be like me. There's some very valuable friends around you, and and I feel like sometimes you think that you're alone in this, and you're not. And I also feel like there is some really good advice, and I want you to not be blind to it. I don't want you to ignore what your friends are trying to tell you. Because the thing that you are actually wanting with that Page of Cups that's going to bring you to the Ten of Cups, you think that you have to do to get to the Ten of Cups. You think that you have to do it on your own. And the reason why you think you have to do it on your own is because you've never been able to count on anybody else before to help you along. And maybe it's not that you have never been able to count on anyone, but in your mind, that's what you feel like. But I want to ask you that. I want to ask you, Capricorn, is that true? Because I guarantee there's probably like one person that makes your life easier. Maybe more than one. But in your Capricorn, in your goat mind, nobody's helping. And maybe it feels like nobody's helping because they don't do it the way that you want them to do it, right? This Page of Cups, when I see the Page of Cups, I immediately think of beggars can't be choosers. If you want assistance, or you feel like you want more out of life or more out of something, and somebody comes along to offer that to you, or offer you advice, or offer you something like a little nugget of wisdom or something like that, instead of just being like, no, not today. Instead of doing that thing that you guys are really, and again, I know you don't mean anything by it. Mercury retrograde is not going to be easy. And it's going to be in your third house of communication. So there will be miscommunications. Please watch all of the words that are coming out of your mouth. Please watch all of the words you are posting on social media. Please watch all of the words you are putting into emails. Please watch make sure you are, we talked about this for January. Make sure you check the details, you guys. Details are everything in a Mercury retrograde. And you miss one detail and you're going to have to go all the way back to find out where you fucked it up and then start all over again. And a Capricorn that has to start something all over, you guys will not. You'll put it in the corner and be like, I'll come back to it later. That can just wait its turn. 10 of Cups. Okay. 5 of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. So miscommunications, possible arguments, possible fighting. The 10 of Cups on the Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Wands on the 10 of Cups, there is a fire sign in your life. I feel like this is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Doesn't have to be a fire sign. It could just be somebody that has a lot of fire in their chart. Rising or moon fire, possibly. But that 10 of Cups, I think that this is like that person that sort of is your like long-term, it's your lobster. I saw that t-shirt at Target the other day and I should have gotten it. You know, when Phoebe says on Friends, they're each other's lobsters or something like that. There was a t-shirt. Anyway, I feel like this Wands person is your lobster. And then we have the 6 of Wands on the Queen of Swords. So this Queen of Swords, who's very discerning, which I feel like is your energy, you are coming out the winning side of things. You went through the fire. You went through the mess. You went through all the crap that you had to go through. And here we are. And you made it. And it's successful. And you did really, really good. So I don't want you to second guess yourself because of that. I don't want you to, because this 5 of Wands, if this isn't arguing on the outside, oh, it's internal with the Moon and the Hanged Man. You can literally sabotage yourself, Capricorn, by getting in your own way, by fighting your own your nature. You can 100% sabotage yourself if you wanted to. So with the Moon and the Hanged Man, you could also be dealing with a Pisces or a Cancer. But I feel like it's you're arguing with yourself that creates the chaos. You arguing with yourself. And maybe it's like the creative, oh yeah, definitely, the creative arguments that you have with yourself. Right? The Empress and the Devil. What am I creating next? What am I going to do next? Where am I going next? What's next? What's next? What's next? In order for you to really release that part of you and allow yourself to see clearly what's next, you have to pause. And that's what the Hanged Man is saying here. In order for you to find out what is within this moon energy, right, you have to take that pause. You have to take that moment, pull back, close your eyes, take a deep breath. And just pay attention to your breath. Sit there for a couple minutes just paying attention to the in and out. The pause at the inhale. The pause at the bottom of the exhale. And that's how you can begin to find clarity. That's how you can begin to feel stable again. But until you realize that, you know, all of this wanting and wanting and wanting and wanting is actually a desire that's within you. And it's not something that anything else is going to make you happy, right? You have some very good confidants here. You have a good confidant here. And you are creating healthy boundaries. So why second guess yourself? Oh, because you're a Capricorn. I forgot. That's just what you guys are really, really good at doing, is second guessing yourself. And that's the only way a Capricorn can sabotage themselves, is to second guess. Because you lose drive. You lose your drive when you second guess yourself. All right, you guys. If you would like a personal reading with me, all of that information is in the description box. Come join us for our self-alignment workshop, where we are going to learn how to no longer judge ourselves. Yes, I said it. A Virgo learned how to not judge herself or judge others. So if I can do it, you can do it. Excuse me. If you'd like to join me, that's on the 22nd of February. That cough like totally threw me off. Have a wonderful, wonderful month, you guys. If you need anything from me, drop me an email. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Bye.